Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin', the Memorial Day holiday episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans. I host the podcast along with my husband.
Hello, I'm Alan.
That's Alan Evans, who's been very busy getting our outside home, the outside living area, ready for our annual Memorial Day party. It's now become annual because this will be the second one. It's not annual until you have the second one, right?
That's what I've heard. That is what I've heard.
So this is going to be hopefully an ongoing tradition for us. Alan's been busting his butt in the yard for 3 days straight.
I think I have, what happens when you OD on sun? You get vitamin...
Heat stroke.
Well, yeah, there's that. But I mean, isn't there a vitamin your body produces when you get sun?
You get
but then when you
vitamin
get
D.
too much of it, it makes your head spin.
Maybe.
That's kind of
Vitamin D?
That's kind of how I feel now. Just my head spinning.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I've been working on the interior of the home.
Yeah, you've
But
been
I
doing
haven't
the
been
interior.
really busting the butt too much. I wouldn't call it that. I've just been kind of putting stuff away.
Yeah,
I decided today to reorganize the pantry just in case someone decides to look into it.
Every time I came inside to get a drink of water, because I was very, very hot, you were usually on your phone. You're doing something on your phone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I was texting. Maybe I was online shopping.
I don't know what you were doing. I know what I was doing. I was out there busting my hump,
Yes, you
trying to get
were.
the landscaping done.
What I was doing, I was adding to my list of things to get at the grocery store. I did do that today.
You did.
And I added some things to your honey-do list that I won't spring on you for a while.
No, what now?
No, just stuff around the house. Every time I come across something that need to be done, I just add it to the honey-do list.
I know there's about 28 light bulbs in this
That's
house
it.
I have to change.
That's some of the honey-do list I added. Yeah, so that's what I did today. Maybe when I was on the phone, you saw me adding stuff to your list that I'll wait to spring on you because you've got to recover from the annual Memorial Day party first.
Yeah, we got a big party coming tomorrow, and we're just coming off a big party that we went to last night.
Yes, it's an annual fundraiser for Operation Once in a Lifetime, and they always do it the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. And we're going to talk to our friend Sergeant Patrick Sowers in just a few minutes because he is the founder of Operation Once in a Lifetime, and they do the events. It's called Rock for the Troops, and it's just, a lot of rock music and raffle items, and they had some really great stuff they auctioned off last night and raised a ton of money for Operation Once in a Lifetime, which we'll let Patrick explain what that charity is because I don't want to speak for him and take away all of his thunder.
He's the founder and CEO.
Yes.
And we've talked about Patrick from time to time.
Yes.
He's a friend of ours.
Yeah, he's the one that takes you wild hog hunting.
I've been hog hunting
and
with
fishing.
Patrick. I've been fishing with Patrick.
Which are also some of the wishes they grant. They take members of the military out on these little expeditions that are fun.
I've been to Cowboys games with Patrick. He's a good guy. And we'll call him here in just a second. And you can learn a little bit more about Patrick and that charity because it's a great thing they do for veterans.
I'm going to ask him if he can remember when we first met because I can't remember.
He's told me before.
I
we'll
forget.
let him tell the story. But yeah,
I forget when I meet people. I just know they're there all of a sudden and I know them.
It's kind of like me.
I remember when I met you.
One day I was just kind of here all of a sudden.
No, I remember when I met you, but when I meet people out, like at charity events and social functions, then it all kind of blurs together and I can't remember.
You dropping a dime? You can't remember a friendly face?
I know a lot of stuff. No, I'm just saying I can't remember when I met them.
Oh.
I'm not saying I don't remember them. I don't remember when we met.
Speaking of, this is random, but we need to touch on the Gracies too, maybe. We haven't talked. We haven't done a podcast since the Gracies.
Oh, we haven't?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll do that after we talk to Patrick. Yeah, I'll save that story. But yeah, maybe we'll have time to talk about the Gracie Awards.
We have all the time in the world. It's our podcast and we can do what we want. You know what I want to do right now?
What's that, babe?
Is talk about something that we discovered that we love, and we're going to be packing them and taking with us to Mexico. Because what we learned last year when we went to our all-inclusive vacation, where we're going back with our podcast family this summer, is you order a drink, and by the time it sits in your hand for about 60 seconds in that hot sun on the beach in Mexico, the drink is warm, the drink is watered down from the ice cubes, and it's no good, and you have to order another one. It's just a waste. I don't want to drink warm, watered down fruity drinks.
There's not much that sucks more than warm alcohol.
Well, that was the same problem that this guy named Dylan ran into. And Dylan decided, unlike me, to do something about it. And he created BrüMate.
He didn't dawdle.
No, he didn't. His whole mission, BrüMate's mission, is to shake up the beverage industry for the better. So whether you like beer, you like wine, you like your favorite adult spirit, BrüMate makes sure every sip is the perfect temperature. Like I said, the beach in Mexico, perfect example. Hanging out by the pool for the Memorial Day party. Your drink gets warm so quickly. So what I love is BrüMate actually has so many different designs, flasks and things like that. But I actually gave a gift to my friend Susan recently. It's the insulated wine bottle. It fits a full-size bottle of wine. It includes the silicone funnel, so it makes it real easy to get the bottle of wine into the BrüMate bottle. It keeps the perfect temperature of your wine for over 24 hours. So you can pour it in the morning. It'll be good all day on the beach. You don't have to worry about it. And you also don't have to worry about broken glass bottles. You can't have that around the beach either way, or around the pool. And they also have these insulated wine cups that go with this. And it's the largest insulated wine glass in the world. You can fit over a half a bottle of wine. That's 14 ounces in one of their little glasses. And they have over 30 colors available, from matte black.
That's what I have. That's what I have.
And I got this pretty little frosty green, just beautiful colors. It's the smartest way to drink outside. It's BrüMate.
Don't settle for warm alcohol. I'm not going to settle for warm alcohol. Chill out with your favorite drinks all day with BrüMate. Visit BrüMate.com and add code SANDWICH to get 15% off your first order. That's 15% off your first order when you go to BrUMate.com and add code SANDWICH.
Do that at checkout and you'll be good to go. They make great gifts.
I'm taking my BrüMates to Mexico.
I know.
I may whip out a BrüMate tomorrow here at Evans Manor.
That's right. Well, we do have the annual Memorial Day party, and we invite Sergeant Patrick Sowers to come, and we acknowledge the true meaning of Memorial Day while we're, acting like idiots around the pool too. We do that.
There's a lot of that going on.
We'll admit it.
Emphasize the word idiots.
But a lot of people are confused about Memorial Day. Somebody chastised me on a DM today. You don't say Happy Memorial Day because it's not happy. You don't say happy because of the heavy significance of what the holiday is. And a lot of people confuse Veterans Day with Memorial Day. Well, I decided to Google, because that's what I do really good, and it said in 1868, Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan, see, I always thought a president declared Memorial Day. It wasn't. It was Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic. He issued what was called the General Order Number 11 and designated May 30th as a Memorial Day. He declared it to be for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. So that was the original. So the first celebration of Memorial Day, which originally was called Decoration Day, was May 30th, 1868 at Arlington National Cemetery. The national observance of Memorial Day still takes place there today. They place the wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier, and they decorate each grave in the cemetery with a small American flag. It's a beautiful thing to see and very moving. If you can look out at that without getting a tear in your eye or a lump in your throat, I don't know if there's any blood pumping through your veins. But the holiday has changed a bit since it first began, which some argue was even earlier than Chief Logan's declaration and dedication. Southern women dedicated the graves of soldiers even before the end of Civil War. And after the war, a Women's Memorial Association in Columbus, Mississippi, put flowers on the graves of both Confederate and Union soldiers in 1866. It was an act of generosity that inspired the poem by Francis Miles Finch, The Blue and the Gray, because the country had to come back together. We're enemies, had to unite. It was published in the Atlantic Monthly. Anyway, in 1971, federal law changed the observance of the holiday to the last Monday in May and extended it to honor all those who died in American wars.
I didn't know that. 1971.
Mm-hmm. So until then, It was on May 30th. And now it's on the last Monday in May.
Last Monday in May.
There you go. And there's your history on Memorial Day.
Way to go, babe. Well, history lesson from a sandwich and some lemon.
I just assumed it was a president that declared it Memorial Day. I didn't know.
Okay, let's give Patrick a call.
Yes.
Let's see what he's up to. See if this works.
I bet he knew all that stuff I just read to everybody listening.
We're
going to try this.
Here we go.
Here we go. Trial and error. I can hear it in my earbuds.
The phone is ringing.
I think that means it's recording on the podcast.
This is Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
How's it going?
It's going great. Did we interrupt anything?
No, just unloading some stuff from last night's event. So, working.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit. This is Sergeant Patrick Sowers from Operation Once in a Lifetime, and we were talking a little bit about last night's fundraiser. Why don't you, if you don't mind, tell everybody real briefly or quick, or take as long as you want, really, what Operation Once in a Lifetime is?
Operation Once in a Lifetime's kind of overall core mission is creating once-in-a-lifetime experiences and opportunities for U.S. service members, their families, and veterans. I mean, many people honestly consider us like a make-a-wish for the military, and we really do pride ourselves on that. Like, we grant one wish at a time, one family at a time, and we pride ourselves in several different aspects of the charity when it comes to the wish giving. That every soldier, every Marine, every airman, every sailor, everyone qualifies for assistance. You don't have to be wounded or deployed or a certain rank or branch. But we also recognize not just extravagant once-in-a-lifetime wishes and opportunities that so many of our service members, deserve, but also the practical wishes. Like if you don't have food, what would you wish for?
Food. Yeah.
If you got out of the military and you needed a job, what would be your wish is needing a job? And, last night's festivities were to help grant a wish that so many veterans and active duty service members that we deal with have a wish, and their wish is to visit their fallen battle buddies that they served with in combat, and by visiting their final resting spot at Arlington National Cemetery. So last night we helped fundraise to help grant wishes for men and women to visit, their friends and, they served alongside with that, paid the ultimate sacrifice to, pay their respects to them. And, so last night, we were able to help make dreams come true and, by raising money to be able to send, men and women that are active duty and veterans to Arlington National Cemetery for the very first time. For my Iraq veterans, Afghanistan veterans, we have a 97-year-old World War II vet on this year's trip.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
and for all of them going, it's their first time, but you've been multiple times taking these trips. And is it still, we were just saying earlier, if you go to that cemetery and you don't have a lump in your throat or a tear in your eye, I don't know what's wrong with you, because you've done this multiple times, and I'm sure it still hits you the same every time.
It does. This will be my fifth trip. Obviously I'm blessed and fortunate to, be on the trips, as, organizing it and fundraising for it, and being boots on the ground to get everyone in. I'm the first guy in. I'm the last flight out. I've got a couple friends that are buried there that I served with that, and I text their parents every time I go, and I'm like, I'm here with your son.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they always text me back like, thank you for remembering.
Yeah. And that's what this holiday is all about, is remembering those who did sacrifice all. We were explaining there is some confusion between Memorial Day and Veterans Day, both very important holidays, but this is for the one for the members of the military that sacrificed everything for us. And Patrick, tell us about, Alan was saying earlier, we talk a lot about your charity, but we haven't talked about your military service and your military career. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was an A5 infantry guy. I did end up doing 8 years in the military, served along some great guys that, unfortunately didn't make it home. They died in Iraq, and, my dad served 22 years in the military. My grandfather served in the military, and it's something I grew up in, jumping from school to school, duty station to duty station. And, I just wanted to do something, I don't know, like I wanted to kind of give, and I kind of wanted to follow my dad's footsteps and legacy, and, went in kind of blindly a little bit, obviously seeing my dad serve, but like not really knowing what I wanted to do. I was young, and, I just knew I knew what I was doing, like working at a warehouse wasn't for me. And, serving in the military was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It made me grow up. It made me, learn about the bonds of serving with guys that, and men and women, that, were selfless and they would do anything for you. And I have to talk about all the time, like, I really honestly don't have many friends, but I have tons of family. And I think that's one thing that the military does. And the bonds that you create is a family bond. Like, you guys, men and women, like, we do things and we go places and, we do things like no one would want to do. Like, trust me, like nobody, like, hey, we're going to go road march 30 miles. Like, oh, we're going to go do it. Hey, you're going to be deployed for a year. Like, oh, okay. Like, you're going to miss your son's birthday or daughter's volleyball game or your wedding or anniversary. And, nobody obviously wants to do that, but it's a higher calling. And, it made me very humble, I guess, in a way. And then, the great thing that it makes me feel, it's like, it's not just me. It's millions and hundreds of thousands of other veterans and service members. They all gave the same sacrifice. Everybody gave their time, and that's one thing I'm really big on. Like, being a veteran and, serving is a very prestigious honor, and I take it very, very, like sacred. And that's one thing that, our whole community that we're with is like, if you be a veteran, be a great one. Live by example. Hold the doors open for somebody. And, just because you're not serving anymore doesn't mean you still can't serve at some type of capacity. One of my very best friends was shot in Iraq, and I often talk about him, and he's a full-time firefighter in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. One of my other guys, literally an IED goes off like 20 feet from him and kills the guy in front of him, and he lives. But yet he lives this great life in honor of him. And, that's what's so important. Like for me, serving is like, yeah, man, like it was an important part of my life. It continues to be an important part of my life, but it just made me realize there's nothing I can't do. And I constantly want to just pay it forward and be a great veteran and be a great dad and be a great role model. And, and if I can make a difference in anyone's life, and especially another veteran that may be struggling, then absolutely.
Hey, Patrick, you've done some great work, obviously, with the charity, and it's been fun watching that grow over the last, couple of years that we've been involved with it. And so, I know that's one part of it is the fundraising, so you can take veterans on trips and that sort of thing. And you also have a resale shop where, people can make donations to Operation Once in a Lifetime. And I know you find places for all of those things to go. But talk a little bit about some of the things that people might not know that you do in your capacity. And I'm thinking specifically of the ride home when you and I were coming back from hunting the last time, and that very, very difficult phone call that you had to take. And you don't have to mention names, obviously, but that, to me, that was just one example of kind of, you play counselor too, don't you? For a lot of spouses who have lost loved ones in the military?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, we were on our way back from hunting, and while we were hunting, a buddy of mine that I served with was like, hey, I have a friend that took his life. And his wife is taking it really hard, obviously, like any wife should. And unfortunately, that incident happened right in front of her, and that's something that I don't know if you could ever truly recover from. And she called, and that's the thing, and this is what's so unique about Operation Once in a Lifetime, right? Like, there's really nothing we don't do, right? We have a spouse scholarship program. We have the trip to Arlington National Cemetery. We create the Once in a Lifetime opportunities, whether like taking people to an NFL game or a Mavs game and creating these memories, or helping the homeless and whatever else. But, the biggest thing is that we open our doors to everybody, like, and we get it. I get it, right? America, people, charities, all out there. You cannot help everyone.
Yeah.
I think you're wrong. I think you can, right? Yes, you may not have the money to help everyone, but our policy is everybody gets a phone call. That wife called, and she didn't want money. She just wanted someone to talk to, and, I'm here. Like, hey, I couldn't imagine going through this. And, the biggest thing, like when he took his life, I didn't want his death to be in vain, but like, why did he do it? And that's the most important question in life is, when bad things happen, why did it happen? Because if you don't fix why, it becomes a reoccurrence. And, like, hey, let's not let his death be in vain, but like, why did he do it? And that way, if other veterans are struggling with what he was going through and, he got out of the military, he just, he kind of missed the military. He honestly felt like he didn't do enough in the military, and that kind of ate at him. And, he's struggling a little bit in the civilian world, and he really could have had a great mentor in his life. But the biggest compliment we honestly get is thank you for answering the phone. You're the only one that called us back.
Oh.
They didn't say you're the only one that gave us money. You're the only one that answered the phone. And
they feel
and
forgotten.
Like, yeah, and it's just, and again, like it's tough. I don't know. I've got pretty thick skin over the years, and everyone, like 90% of phone calls I get, it's people that are struggling, and it's people that they're honestly at their worst, but like I sit there and I talk to them like, hey, you can get through this. And the biggest thing is like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. If he can do it, you can do it. Like, no matter how bad life is, there's always someone that had it probably a little bit worse than that. And they were able to accomplish so much out of their life. Like, almost like probably maybe in like the kids trip. Like, you see these kids that are terminal illnesses and doing it. And you see this kid that was like, oh, well, he wasn't capable of doing this. And then like a year later, like, oh, he's doing something. So the next kid that was told, like, you can't do this, like, hey, I saw a kid that was able to do it. Hope is the key to life. And that's what making all these phone calls, like, everyone calls, everyone's in need. And yes, we may not have the money to help everybody, but everyone gets a phone call. Like, everyone, like, you can honestly help people by just answering the phone. Many veterans and spouses and everything like that, they just want someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, like, I don't know what to do. And what's great about the military community is, like, hey, man, I've been there, done that. If I haven't been there, someone in my, our group has been there, done that. And you're having a bad day, a bad week. And no, it could honestly even be a bad year, but it is not a bad life. I promise you, it will get better. You want to go have a drink? Let's go have a drink. You want to call me tomorrow? My phone is always open. And I personally average probably 2,500 phone calls a month from veterans needing help.
Wow. And you have we actually give a shout out to your wife because when you're on the phone, you're not with your family, that takes away from her time and the kids' times. That's a big dedication on her part as well.
It is. And what's great is that they understand. And I'll be honest, like, in some occasions, like, my son will sit next to me on these phone calls. And, and the great thing about that is, like, he'll see, like, there's never a defeated mentality, right? Again, like, in the military, we are never defeated. We overcome, and we're able to do anything that was set in front of us. And honestly, I think for me, 90% of the things we were able to overcome in the military is because we didn't have a choice. Like, if someone went up to you at your work and said, hey, you're going to carry 500 pounds, and after that, we're going to go run 30 miles. Most people are like, I quit. Yeah. Right? I quit. Like, you can fire me. But in the military, you didn't have a choice, and that's the biggest thing that I could tell guys, like, hey, you're in a bad situation, but you don't have a choice right now, guys. Like, there is no quit. Like, hey, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And that's what, some of the great things that come off it is, I swear, I've had veterans call me a year after a phone call, and they're like, hey, I just wanted to call and thank you. I'm like, really? He goes, you answered the phone a year ago, and you gave me an hour out of your time, and you were honest with me, sometimes even brutally honest with me, but it made me think. Like, yes, man, like, if I sit here and woe is me, and, like, life sucks, and, like, and whatever else, and, like, the favorite saying, if you want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep on doing what you're doing, and you sit there, and a year later they'll call you, like, thank you, you changed my life. Like, wow, it all makes it worth it. And your kids hear that, and, like, hey, my dad just helped this guy, and, and then, like, you have other veterans around, and, like, and that's one thing I'll tell you. It's not just me, guys. Like, yes, Operation Once a Lifetime. We've helped 550,000 veterans and active duty service members, which is great. Unfortunately, a lot of people see me as a face organization, but there's a lot of guys in the background. This weekend literally would not have been done without Sergeant First Class Watson, Staff Sergeant Kenny Griffith, my wife Brandy, and all these other volunteers that came out. Like, there's no way. Like, I came up with the idea. Everyone there made it happen, but everyone came together for a greater cause that was greater than any of us. And I think that's my reward out of all that. Like, you change someone's life, everyone comes in, and, that's the military. It's just like we will not quit. And, again, don't quit. Don't quit on yourself, and, be great.
Patrick, you guys had some great raffle ticket items at the Rock the Troops, and I know that's one way you raise money. But if people want to donate to Operation Once in a Lifetime, what are the different ways they can do that?
I'll be honest with you. We have various programs. We're not the biggest charity in the world. Our goal every year is to raise $1 million, right? $1 million, and that would honestly probably cover 15% of the requests that we get. We've never hit that mark. We've honestly never raised $1 million in a single year. We've actually come close, like maybe 800,000, So, people can donate online, right? They can donate via check. It's all tax deductible. But if you visit the Operation Once in a Lifetime, we have like a current needs page. And these are like specific things that we're raising money for. Like, we're raising money for the Arlington trip, like for every $800 we raise, that pays for another veteran to go, and, whether it's $5, $20, $100, it all makes a difference. Or maybe you can donate airline miles, or anything, it's like, go online, fine. If it's not our charity, honestly, pick another one. Pick a military charity. It's Memorial Day weekend. There's so many ways of remembering our military. If it's not us, no problem. Carry the load. Fine. Pick those guys, right? Like, anyone out there, they're great charities, but donate online. You can email, contact at Operation Once in a Lifetime. You can donate airline miles. We have a store in Plano, Texas, where, you can donate items, clothing, furniture, electronics. And what's great about our store is what we've realized over the years is sometimes when it comes to helping people, it's not about money. It's about stuff, right? We have a veteran that's homeless, and he's gotten into an apartment with his kids, but they were living on the street, and now he's got an apartment. Well, what's in it? Nothing, right? So the Support Your Troops Resale Center allows people to donate items. They get the same tax benefit, but we do have to unfortunately sell those items because we have a very expensive rent there. But the unique part is U.S. Army veterans or U.S. military veterans in general, all branches and active duty in need can shop for free. Clothes,
wow,
yeah,
furniture, a bed. Like, I'll be honest, that's probably the most hardest thing I do is out of all the phone calls I get, dealing with someone who passed away and died for whatever reason is tough. But going to a veteran's home where their kids are sleeping on the floor is probably the toughest thing. It's like, man, here's a bed. And then to me, I don't think I can even do enough. I will literally go to Walmart, and I'll spend $300 in groceries and go back and I want to follow up with them and, make sure this, it doesn't happen again. Or is there anything you need? And, no one should live like that, man. No child and, no American should be sleeping on the floor and, hey, provide the bed, provide the resource and, the mentorship to where they live a better life. But that's what the store provides. It's fine, not money, donate clothes, donate furniture, donate anything, clean out your house, donate it, donate your time. We had 32 volunteers show up to this year's event. And again, it was amazing. They all showed up and there is nothing, keep your money, donate your time. Because I'm telling you, I think that's almost more valuable than money.
You had the best MC in Dallas-Fort Worth, Patrick, pulling those tickets.
I'm telling you, man. Kelly, hey, that's a rough job, man, because you make one guy's dream or one man or woman's dream come true, but you made 5,000 others' dreams just
dashed
crash.
them right there. that was a lot of pressure, Patrick.
Yeah.
Was that a record?
Was
that a record raising? Was that a record fundraising year for you? You had such great items. They had a Louis Vuitton purse. They had Luke Bryan autographed guitar.
Indian
things like
motorcycle.
That. Yeah. Was that a record breaker year?
It was a record breaking event. But what's unique about it, but it wasn't a one night event. It wasn't hey, we raised $100,000 in one night. It's literally over this 6-month period of when Jack Daniels donated this rare motorcycle and allowed us to raffle it off. And we've done that for the past 6 months. And then 3 months prior to the event, we're getting all these other items donated, and we're selling raffle tickets for that. And then coming up to the event. But yeah, singly last night, we ended up raising $18,000 in one night. Total over the 6-month period with sponsorships, selling tickets to people all across the United States. It was $100,000, which was our biggest event. Fundraising for a single opportunity, and it was amazing. And thousands. I mean, that venue was packed, and everyone had a great time. And we had tons of military there. We had people fly from Washington, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, drove hours from Fort Hood, Texas, active duty, veterans, civilians, and everyone come together. And I did post it on Facebook, like, hey, it is a great event. It's a great event benefiting our military. It's a great event remembering our military, because the funds that's going to be raised is going to help take veterans and active military to Arlington, for the ultimate remembrance. But even better, it brought great people together.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be happening again, same time next year. It's always the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, and I'm assuming it's always going to be at Primo's out on Lake Ray Hubbard.
Yeah, we like Primo's. It's not the biggest venue in the world. It's Memorial Day weekend, and it's a great weekend for remembrance, a great weekend to remember our fallen and remember the families are fallen. And but a lot of people, they enjoy, doing the remembrance, and then after the remembrance, going out to the lake. So we like to make our event very convenient for people by bringing our event to where people are at. Lake Ray Hubbard, on the lake. People park their boats. You don't have to be present. Come out, eat, drink, have a great time, hang out with our military, and unlike many charities that may do like these awesome auctions, if you auction 50 items off, you'll get money from 50 people. You raffle 50 items off, you get money from everybody.
Yeah.
We would rather get $20 from 5,000 people than money from 50. Everybody wants to make a difference, and that's what's great about the event. Like, really, everyone was happy. Like, hey, I didn't win, but it wasn't about winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's an annual event, but like Patrick said, there's so many other ways. You can go to the website and you can actually pick a specific wish you want to be part of and donate to that specific wish, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have always 5 current needs that we're always trying to raise money for. I'm not going to lie. This is our biggest, one of our craziest, biggest requests is our baby shower program. So my wife actually created this. So again, imagine, you're a military spouse, your husband's in the military, and you're from California, you're stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, and you're pregnant, right? And you're like, man, our baby's doing 2 months, and I know nobody. I have no friends and no family here, and I wish I could have a baby shower or any kind of support. And when they say it takes a village to raise a kid, but and that's part. And again, that's a hard part about serving in the military. It's being away from home. Being away. It's the biggest sacrifice or the number one sacrifice that we all have in common is being away from our loved ones. So I'm not kidding, we get more requests from military spouses like, can you help me get a stroller? Can you help me with formula? Can you help me put on a baby shower? Donate diapers, formula, every so often on our Facebook. That's really where you're going to see the biggest impact for us is like, we'll put military spouses baby registries on Facebook. Like, hey, here's this family. And like, hey, and again, like personally, I don't care if you donate to us, right? Here's the registry. You donate to us, it's tax deductible. Or buy that $20 diaper set or that $30 bottles or a $50 stroller, whether you give it to us or you give it to them directly, it all makes a difference. And, our baby registry, baby shower programs on there, our trip to Arlington National Cemetery. This is an annual trip. We have 34 veterans and active service members going this year. We spent $40,000 on flights and hotels and bus and transportation for all these guys to come in. As a matter of fact, the 97-year-old World War II veteran actually needs a wheelchair, so he can walk. I mean, there's a lot of walking in Arlington. So his family is asking if we could borrow just a regular wheelchair for him Wise in DC. Like, there we go. Like, it's not even money. It's not even clothes. It's like, veteran needs to borrow a wheelchair for a couple of days.
Somebody has to be able to help you out with that. Well, where's the best place people can go? Is it the Facebook page you like people, or do you rather go to the website?
Well, we help on average 10 to 15 active duty veterans and service members on a daily basis. So, it's hard to keep a website updated on a daily basis on what you're doing daily. So Facebook is a great place to follow us, as far as what we're doing and ways to help, volunteer opportunities, and what's going on a daily basis for like donation purposes. Obviously, the website's great. Everything is tax deductible. We are a 501c3 organization as well. And it's a great place to kind of keep up with like the current events, what we're trying to raise money for, events that we got going on. But yeah, Facebook's really where you're going to see the scope of like, the need or like the volunteer opportunities or what we just did recently. There's 3 things that should always be posted on Facebook: what you did yesterday, what you're going to do today, and what you're going to do tomorrow, and be relevant. So like, and again, whether you donate to us to help somebody, I'll tell people all the time, I'll give you an address. You can mail the check directly to them.
Well, Operation Once in a Lifetime. So go find that Facebook page, like it, follow it, and get involved, because it's really a great organization. And once you start meeting some of these people, I think you'll feel like you are through the Facebook pages, and you can start going to some of the events that are coming up. I think you'll even want to get more involved. So, Patrick, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
Hey, no, man. Hey, thank you guys, man. Like, I know you guys had a couple commitments prior to coming out, and you guys are always so gracious, and you guys are all supportive, and, you're not just supporters, man. You're true friends. I really do appreciate that, and, like, I value, your friendship more than anything, so thank you.
Oh, thanks, Patrick.
Likewise, and looking forward to seeing you for the Big Bash.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Patrick. We'll see you then.
All righty.
All right. Have
Thanks,
a good night.
Patrick. Bye.
Isn't he great? So great. I had a million other things we could have asked him, but,
He's a good guy. I remember I didn't know Patrick too long, and I think I told you. I said, now, there's a guy who almost everything he does is for somebody else.
Always.
He doesn't do stuff for himself that much. It's like almost everything he does, he's doing it for somebody.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think the first time I met him was probably for a fundraiser. I think they were doing a thing called Carry the Load. That might have been the first one. Or not Carry the Load. That's a different charity. It was something about where you pick the branch of the military that you wanted to run cadence with. Is that what they call it? Where they run and they say, I don't know what you've been told. What is that? I don't know that thing. Is that cadence?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so you would run with the branch of the military. I think that might have been the first event I did with them as a fundraiser, but they've always got so many opportunities. So Operation Once in a Lifetime.
He's a good guy. Even like when he, these hunting trips he takes me on, I don't think he goes necessarily because he wants to go so much. It's like he just says, hey, man, I'd like to take you hunting. I'm
yeah.
like, okay, let's go.
But when you go with a member of haven't you gone with members of some veterans?
He usually takes some veterans.
Yeah.
And I've become friends with some of them too. Some were at the event last night. Kenny that he mentioned and Seth that he mentioned. So yeah, anyway, that was awesome.
We appreciate Patrick taking time out of his weekend to talk to us. And real quick before we get to the Gracie Awards and our quick trip out. I mean, you talk about a quick trip out to LA. It was less than 24 hours there and back. I don't know if we've still recovered from that yet. But real quick, we want to tell you about Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits.
Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike.
View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular.
With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at sandwich.robinhood.com.
That's sandwich.robinhood.com. Now back to me.
Back to you, babe.
Back to me.
We flew out to La La Land and you picked up some hardware. What happened?
We did. We had a real whirlwind trip. Was it even a month ago? I received a phone call that I had won a Gracie Award. Gracie Award is from Women in Media, and they pick dozens of women across the country in, TV, podcasting, radio, documentaries, things like that. And they acknowledge women who have made a difference that year in whatever capacity.
Outstanding in their representative
field.
Area, yes.
And there were a lot of really incredible women there, and it was a beautiful night. But unfortunately for us, it was we didn't make it night.
Well, the first snafu was the flight was delayed.
The flight was delayed. It was horrible lightning as we were driving to the airport, and I'm thinking, oh, this isn't good, because we were already cutting it by the skin of our teeth. I had to work that morning. And go straight to the airport as soon as we got off the air. Alan was already there waiting for us. Our boss man, George, graciously invited him to go with us. And we're sitting there thinking, we're cutting it close as it is. So the flight was delayed. And when we land, we realized we're not going to make it. We were going to go to our boss man thought it would be less expensive to get a vacation, like a VRBO, instead of, paying for all of us to stay at a hotel. And so we were going to go to the VRBO, get changed. Alan and I were going to leave for the event, really fast, while the rest of them had a little bit more time to get ready to meet us there. But because of the flight delay, that wasn't going to happen.
Didn't have time to do that. So I'm thinking, well, we're going to have to get dressed in an airport bathroom.
Or the hotel bathroom.
Or
we were trying to,
or the hotel bathroom.
Figure out what was the best option. Well, boss man George remembered two of his friends were attending the Gracies.
Amen.
And he just texted him and said, hey, would you mind if Kellie and Allen got ready in your room?
That's not how he said it, though.
Well, how did he say it, babe?
Amen. Hey, Jenny, John, amen. This is Kellie and Allen. Amen. Can they get dressed in your room? Amen.
That's pretty close.
Kind of how it went.
Pretty close. And they said absolutely. They said no problem. So we
Two total strangers. Don't know them from Adam, and I'm changing in their hotel room.
So we run up to the room, literally run up to the room, just the two of us. The rest of the group went to the house. Boss man George actually went to a meeting in Burbank. He's always working in a meeting. And we run to the room. We're like, hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And the wife's on the committee. And she said, well, it's nice to meet you. I've got to go. My husband's here to help. And she wasn't kidding. He steamed my dress for me as
John.
As I went to the bathroom and plugged in my curlers just to fluff up my hair. I got up that morning. I don't know if it was a premonition or just, you know what, I'm going to be on the safe side. I went ahead and did a full face of makeup at 3:30 in the morning, just in case. That way, by the end of the day, I could just do some touch-ups and not have to start from scratch. Thank the Lord. So basically, I just dotted a little concealer under my eyes, put on a fresh coat of lipstick, poofed up my hair. John steamed my dress. And
he pressed my shirt.
I stepped into it. I was out the door and left you to finish getting ready with John, who was pressing your shirt.
I wasn't in there 2 minutes before he slapped a drink in my hand, too. I mean, this guy was unbelievable.
Host extraordinaire.
So you leave, and then it's just me and John in the room.
Well, you had forgotten all the buttons.
I had forgotten all the the studs on my tuxedo shirt.
Right. So that's like the buttons.
So,
instead of buttons, it's like these things you insert. Well, Alan forgot them.
So
and
John
said,
loaned me his.
Well, I told you. I said, just go for it. It's L.A. If anywhere you're going to get away with wearing an open shirt, tuxedo shirt, you could start a trend. Just, if you own it and act like you meant to do it that way, just go for it. Mm-hmm. And John said, nah,
I don't think a women's event is the place to be showing hairy chest.
Or the perfect place.
Yeah, maybe the perfect place.
So anyway, but John gave up his beautiful studs and just wore these little plastic buttons. Did you see his little plastic buttons on his shirt?
Now, we did have a somewhat awkward moment when it's just John and I in the room.
Yeah.
So I need help putting my tie on. Okay, so I'm facing John. He and I alone in the hotel room after a few drinks. Just met the guy. So you know how it is whenever you go to a tailor and, you know, the tailor is standing there with you like really close and you don't want to make eye contact. So you're kind of like, you know, you're looking to the left, you're looking up, you're looking to the right. That's kind of how I was because John was standing right in front of me and he was tying my bow tie. And I'm looking to the left and he stops tying it and he says, "You can look at me." So I looked at him real fast, and then it's just he and I staring into each other's eyes in this hotel room. Just he and I.
How long did you maintain eye contact?
Just a fraction of a second.
That's
and then
too uncomfortable.
And then I panicked, and I looked to the other direction. Yeah.
Did he laugh? Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, he kind of laughed it off.
But it ended up being great. We made it on time. I thought I was going to get to walk the red carpet with Alan, but that was not the case. They said, no.
They gave me the Heisman.
Yeah.
Oh, you went up the stairs and that...
Oh, I'm skipping some stuff.
Oh,
okay.
oh,
I'm sorry.
oh.
I'm skipping ahead.
Oh.
I act like I don't know how to tell a story.
Oh, okay.
So,
my man.
They told me before I got there that my award would be given out at a cocktail party prior to the event. There's just too much. They wanted to keep it on a tight schedule, and I would have 45 seconds to do a pre-recorded acceptance speech, which would be played back during the actual ceremony. 45 seconds. I was like, wow, that's not a lot of time. But you know what? You see people on stage at, on TV award shows, 45 seconds is actually a pretty good chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're thanking people that nobody in the room's ever heard of before. But it means a lot to you and the people you're thanking, right?
Like your husband.
Right. When I get there, I land and they say, I get an email saying, it's now 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, shoot. 30 seconds. I guess I'll just talk faster and I'll cut out a little bit of the part about how, this is my, 25 years ago, Kid Craddock brought me in to be his radio off. I'll just cut out all that out. I'll cut that out. It'll be fine. And so at the cocktail party, while Alan's up there making eyes at John, getting his tie fixed.
Wasn't making eyes at John, was not making eyes.
I'm downstairs getting ready to go back. They're going to give me my award and have me film my acceptance speech. And as I'm sitting, I go into this room and I'm next. I say, just have a seat. And the lady comes up to me. She says, okay, we're just going to put you in front of the camera and you have 20 seconds. I say, excuse me?
20 seconds.
Excuse me? 20 seconds. I have to thank Kid Craddock, Boss Man George, Big Al, JC, Jenna, our producer Robert, and my husband. I could thank more, but those are the major people I have to thank.
I think Kid Craddock, yes. Boss Man George, yes. The rest of the Yahoos, including myself, I think we're all optional.
Well, I made you mandatory. So I just looked at her with like panic and I said, I will try my best. And she said, if you go over a couple seconds, it probably won't matter. I was like,
you did a good job, babe. It was very nice.
I raced through it.
It wasn't that fast. Yeah. It didn't sound that fast.
Okay, good. Well, I thanked everybody.
It was great. You made a nice little acceptance speech.
But then I got to come out and present an award. I presented two, actually, with Jillian Barberi, who is, I think, most famous nationally. She did, was it for Fox Sports?
She was on Fox.
She did the weather for NFL.
The pregame NFL show.
Yeah, and she did the weather. And she also, I think, did some Nutrisystem commercials.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think it was Nutrisystem or Jenny Craig. I can't remember. It's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So she's nationally known, and now she does weather out in L.A. on the local channel there. But that's a big deal. And she's battling cancer.
Does a podcast, too.
Too.
I didn't realize she was battling
cancer. And she's been very public about it. But because she's in L.A., the rest of the country might not be as familiar with it unless you follow her on her podcast. And she wasn't feeling well. But I was telling everyone later, backstage, she was just, anybody that came up to her, she was just effusive and love and energy and telling them how great they were and just full of compliments. And then she would sit down and just, you could tell she was just completely sapped. So she's fighting it. And I told her we'd absolutely be thinking about her and sending up prayers for her.
Yeah.
But it was a good night. There were a lot of celebrities there. I think there's a lot of character actresses that their face and you're like, I know them, but I don't know their names. There was a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
But Leah Remini, J-Lo's best friend.
I got nothing.
The lady that does the Scientology.
I knew Sheryl Crow.
You didn't know Leah Remini?
Don't know Leah Remini.
She was from that show. Oh gosh, what was it called? The King of Queens. She was the wife in The King of Queens.
Sorry, babe. I got nothing.
Kevin James' wife. Are you kidding me?
I knew Sheryl Crow. I knew Hannah Storm.
Hannah Storm was there.
I knew
Leah Remini.
I didn't know Leah Remini.
The cast from Good Girls was there. There's quite a few people there.
Well, the highlight of the night, other than you picking up the award, was Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, she performed.
She was great.
Mm-hmm.
She was great. She looked good, too.
She does. She looks great.
Yeah.
And she did, they did one thing where she had a couple guys up there playing guitar, but then she came back and sang at the piano with Johnny Cash. That was a Johnny Cash duet. That voice you heard, that was Johnny Cash.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was cool. Had dinner. It was great. And the next morning we went, after it was over, we went to our VRBO. Alan and I got to bed, it was before 11.
Mm-hmm, about 10:30.
I got up at 2 and got ready to go to the radio station to do the show. I asked Alan, would you like to get up and come with us? He said, no.
No, I think I'll sleep in.
So he stayed behind and he slept in.
We'll leave the making coffee and walking you to your car to other people.
Yeah. So he stayed behind. That's what old married couples do. We're still considered newlyweds, actually.
I mean, I was bushed. I can't imagine how bushed you were.
I was really bushed.
You were really bushed?
But I know I would have gotten up and gone with you.
Why are you talking like Pastor Sam?
Cause I would have.
Well, Pastor Sam.
But it's fine. I didn't care. It was fine.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had anything to do up there.
I wouldn't have. I've just been sitting there twiddling my thumbs.
I
mean,
know.
I wouldn't have. So why don't I just sleep in?
But I would have gone with you because I was afraid you'd be upset with me if I didn't go with you.
If it was reversed?
Yeah, if it was reversed. I'd be afraid that
I
you
would
would have been
tell you to
upset.
stay. I would say, babe, what are you doing? Just sleep in. You're not going to do anything.
Yeah. But it was a really nice studio. These are the studios in LA for like Kiss FM. There's a bunch of stations out there. If Ryan Seacrest, right now because he does Live with Kelly and Ryan, he has to be in New York a lot. But if he's in LA, these are his studios. And Valentine's there that I used to work with at Kiss FM many years ago in Dallas. But he's been in LA 23 years now. He's really banking. Robert said I should see his house.
Yeah?
Yes. I mean, he's like, it's crazy.
What's he do out there? Does he do a morning show?
It's a morning show. Mm-hmm. He does really well there. It's Sean Valentine. But anyway, their kitchen there, it was so cool. They had fancy coffee makers where you dropped in these packets and it ate the packet. And it was so cool. And they had cereal dispensaries. It was nice.
Okay. I missed out on all that.
You did. You missed out on the free cereal and coffee.
I met you at the airport, and I had a celebrity sighting.
Yeah, you did.
At the airport.
You did.
Well, I see this guy cruising down the terminal, and he looks real familiar. I'm like, gosh, where have I seen this guy before? He's tall. He's very thin. He's completely bald, and he's got a pair of sunglasses on his head.
As always.
As always. And he has a scarf. And I'm like, who in the heck is this? And I'm like, I know him. He's a designer, but I can't remember his name. So I text my sister because she's really in the know on all things design. And I said, who is the guy that was on TV years ago? He had a design show, sunglasses on his head, wears a scarf.
Bald.
He was real charismatic and flamboyant. And she's like, Robert Verdi. I'm like, Robert Verdi. It was freaking Robert Verdi. I should have gone and got a selfie with Robert Verdi. I used to love his show.
But we've been like, I don't know your name,
right,
but I know I love you.
But I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, so I panicked.
Well, the only celebrities I saw were in that at the awards ceremony. I usually try to keep my eye out at the airport, but I didn't see anybody this time.
Yeah, Robert Verdi was the biggest one I saw, and Sheryl Crow.
Oh Lord! And getting out of there at LAX, they divide you. So there was, me and Alan, Jenna, JC, and Robert, our producer, and Big Al. And so we, get in the line. The lady told Big Al to go up this ramp. She told the rest of us to get. You were with us then.
No,
you were
I
with
met
us
you at
then.
the airport.
You met us at the airport. That's
Yeah.
right. I was like, why weren't you with us? So she told me and JC and Jenna and
You were
Robert.
with the Three Stooges.
Yeah, so they sent Al by himself down one ramp, and the rest of us got in this other line, and we could have gone left or right. They said go to the right. It was the TSA training line.
Oh.
This is in rush hour when everybody's trying. I mean, this is like what time? And it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. It's the height of traffic, and they have somebody being trained on the x-ray machine. I get it. You need to be trained to know what you're looking for on the X-ray machine. But when you do that, like on the overnight shift, when things are a little less hectic, we stood there in that line. We started to get like really anxious. And suddenly we saw Al. Al was way over there thinking, I said, I tell you right now what he's thinking. He's thinking we all got through and left him and he's all mad at us. And we're still standing. We hadn't moved 2 feet. I'm not lying. And so finally, this other guy with TSA comes up behind us, and Jenna and JC are almost to the front of that point. Some people had wedged in between the 4 of us. And he said, look, this is the training line if you want to jump in the other line. We're like, thank you, because we didn't know what was going on. So we jumped in the other line, and we ended up from the back of that line getting through right after JC and Jenna did. It was so frustrating. So you know what that meant? I had a Bloody Mary. Or a Bloody Maria.
You had a Bloody Maria.
Bloody Maria, and they accidentally gave you a Bloody Maria, and you didn't like it.
I did not like that. It tasted like a mix of kerosene and
no, it didn't.
Lemon juice.
No, it didn't. It was so good. See, I don't like Bloody Marys. I like Bloody Marias. The difference is it's made with tequila instead of vodka.
Yeah.
And they had this candied bacon in it that was spicy bacon that burned, but it was sweet.
Yeah, it burned.
It was so good. So that's our experience.
It was a good experience, babe. I'm proud of you. You got your award, and
I got my award. I got my Gracie.
Where are you going to put it?
It's on my desk right now.
It's here at home?
At home.
Oh, it's on your office desk?
Mm-hmm, here at home.
Is that where you're going to put it?
Yeah.
For good?
Do you like me to put it somewhere else?
You put it wherever you want to put it.
That's where I want to put it. That's where it is right now.
Okay.
And if I get another award, then I'll get a shelf for my awards. Right now, a desktop is fine.
You going to make a big I Love Me wall?
I've already been accused of having one of those.
An I Love Me wall? Where?
Well,
you don't have an I Love Me wall.
Yeah, somebody told me about a podcast. Somebody was, this guy I'd gone out with was talking about me to somebody that hosts a podcast. I couldn't find it now if I wanted to. I can't remember the guy's name. But he was telling them that I had an I Love Me wall, basically. Remember? You were
yeah,
listening.
I do remember that.
Kid Craddock, many years ago, forgot my birthday. And so on the day of my birthday, he went on the air and he said, hey, it's Kellie's birthday. I'm right there listening. And he said, if you love Kellie, if she's meant something to you, if you want to tell her how much she means to you, I want you to go on our Facebook page right now and let Kellie know how you feel. Well, what he did, he took all those comments and he had his assistant, I believe it was Julie at the time. There's some service where you could go to, and they took all the things people said about me, and he made a picture of me out of them. So from a distance, it looks like a big picture of me, my big head. But the closer you get, you can see it's everything people said about me.
Words, yeah.
It's words and about, it's just really sweet. But the problem is, it's about a 5-foot tall picture of my head.
It's about a 5-foot head.
It's sweet, but it's like, wow, where am I going to put it?
It's a lot of face.
Because I was like, it looks kind of vain to have a big picture of yourself like that.
It's actually a really nice picture.
It's a really nice picture.
Yeah.
It's a very nice sentiment.
It's a good picture of you, too.
But it's just really big. So I didn't know what to do with it. So I took it home and I hung it up. I had, when you walked into my house, the old house, there was a room, like a bonus room, but it was like right off as soon as you walked in to the left. And the room was painted red. It was kind of like my funky room. And so I had my big face in the middle, and all around it, I had pictures of my daughter. It was Emma Kellie, because from these photo sessions we'd had with her. So it was like me and then like 10 pictures of Emma Kellie around it. Well, this guy goes and, don't let the truth stand in front of a good story. He told it was all pictures of me. It was my tribute to
So
me
he was
wall.
embellishing a little bit.
He was embellishing, and I can't really be that mad at him because that was,
I mean, who embellishes?
You embellish for the sake of a good story.
Hey, who embellishes on a podcast? We don't.
But that was a big, big picture of me, and right now it's upstairs in the little. It's just hanging on a wall by itself upstairs in what's supposed to be the game room.
We have no strategy with our pictures upstairs.
But that's my me wall.
We're failing.
I guess I could put that picture next to my trophy. That could be something.
Where? There is no more wall space in this house to hang anything.
In that game room, I'll just put I'll get one of those little half shelves and put it next to my face with my trophy on it. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. You know what else?
Let me tell you what's a great idea.
You know what else is a great idea?
I'm not joking. This is the greatest idea ever. I just found out about it last week, and I'm going to tell you about it now. Have you heard of Clutter?
I have.
You have, because I told you about it.
Mm-hmm.
I did a conference call because at first I was like, yeah, I kind of get it. Until they explained to me how awesome this is, I was saying, why didn't I think of this? Because this is genius. You know, we've all had to move, and you have to put your stuff in storage for a while. Or if you're getting a divorce and you don't know where you're going to live, and you're dividing your stuff, you have to where do you put your stuff? You put it in a storage unit.
Right.
Somebody dies, you have to put their stuff in storage because you don't know what to do with this stuff. So it just sits there gathering dust in a storage unit. All right. So self-storage is an important option for a lot of people. But here's how you can do it better with Clutter. Clutter is the world's largest full-service on-demand storage experience. Zero effort. You schedule a pickup. The Clutter crew comes out to your house. They pack it up. They move all your stuff, and they store it in their secure facility.
How cool is that?
But they price match, guarantee, so you get in the lowest possible monthly storage rate. Okay, but they're going to pack all that up and deliver it for you at no extra cost. Here's the genius part that I love. So they take pictures of all your stuff. They inventory all your stuff for you. And if you ever I really need that one thing out of storage, what do? You go through the online inventory, you click it, you schedule a delivery date, and Clutter will get it to you in 48 hours or less. And you don't pay any more for that. It's all included in the monthly fee. Is that the most genius thing you've ever heard of?
It's pretty genius.
You don't have to go all the way out to the storage unit and find it. You go through this online picture inventory. I need Great Edna's egg dish for my Easter meal. And you click it, and they'll deliver it to you.
Clutter can do that?
I'm serious. This is the most genius thing I've ever heard of. So Clutter has a great... If you've got stuff in storage right now and you're like, this is a way better deal than I've got, they'll even come get your stuff out of your storage unit and put it in their storage for you.
It's worth doing right there.
I'm serious, y'all.
I mean, who likes rolling to a storage unit?
Not me. Not when they're going to deliver it to you.
Beating.
If you just go click online.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the offer.
Do this. Clutter has a great sign-up bonus for our listeners, babe. Get $50 off your first month when you sign up at clutter.com/sandwich. That's on top of Clutter's no-hassle moving online inventory management that Kelly mentioned, free pickup and delivery, and that price match guarantee.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how they...
I really don't.
How do they make money doing this? See why Clutter is better and get $50 off your first month at clutter.com/sandwich. That's clutter.com and enter promo code sandwich at checkout.
It's clutter.com/sandwich. That was a typo on their part.
Oh.
At the bottom. It's clutter.com/sandwich. I'm glad I caught that.
Okay, babe.
And then enter promo code sandwich at checkout.
Okay. I was just going with the copy points.
I know. I just happened to catch
Sorry
that.
about that, Clutter.
That was a typo.
I think we got it straightened out there.
I'm telling you, I don't know how they make money at it, and it's not up to me to wonder. But that is the most genius thing I've talked about in a while.
You know, we've talked about this before. Hashtag this isn't part of the ad, but a lot of life is just moving your shist from place to place. And what point in life do you collect enough crap to where now you have a bunch of crap that you've got to move or store?
Well, what happens is...
Is it high school?
I don't know. But what happens is eventually you start giving your crap away towards the twilight years, And that's what happens. You spend all your life accumulating crap, and then when you get older, you start to shed the crap, right?
And then you will the crap to somebody.
Will it to
and
somebody
then they got
else.
crap that they got to store.
But store it with Clutter.
But then when you
if you're going to store it somewhere.
Yeah, if you're going to store it with Clutter. But when you're moving, you got to move your crap from place to place. You're always moving crap.
Yeah, I learned because I moved a lot for a period there. And if there was a box in a closet and I'd lived somewhere for a year and hadn't even opened that box, why am I going to pack it up and move it to the next place?
A lot of people do that.
They do. And you never even know what's inside. Now I want to go clean stuff. I want to go purge. But not tonight.
Not tonight,
Not
babe.
tonight. We're wiped out. We got a big Memorial Day party tomorrow. But do remember, I know a lot of people are doing barbecues and you're, having fun. We're going to be having fun too. But remember the meaning of the holiday. A great way to honor, if you're going to take part in a Memorial Day parade or stop by the Veterans Cemetery, anything of that nature, that would be a wonderful thing. Find a great charity out there that honors members of the military, like with Operation Once in a Lifetime. They're taking veterans to go see Arlington National Cemetery, which is the meaning behind Memorial Day, is those who gave their life for our country. So there's a lot of ways you can get involved.
It's cliche, babe, but freedom is not free.
That's right.
You know, I mean, you think about those guys Patrick talked about who volunteered their time, and then, you know, they get deployed, and then they pay the ultimate price to, you know, protect our freedom.
And you're just lucky your father was in the Air Force, but he is a retired veteran. So, you know.
Yeah. That's,
a lot of people don't have that story that, you know.
Yeah. My dad served in Vietnam, and then my grandfather served in World War II. And I think I've told Kelly this before. That's one thing that I've always, I won't say regretted, but it's a missing part of my life, I think, that I'd never had an opportunity. I had an opportunity, but I never served. You know, it's something that looking back,
like a family tradition, you'd let go.
I wish I had done it. I really do. And,
well, I mean, giving back and helping, you know, military charities, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's why I like to be involved in really anything that supports veterans, like Operation Once in a Lifetime. I'm a big supporter of, because we live this awesome life, and you take it for granted. You take it for granted a lot of times, but we have a lot of the things we do because of those people who preceded us. You know, so.
All right, that was heavy. On that heavy note.
All right, babe, that's reality. Well, this was fun, babe. This was a different podcast, but I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately, and I'm sure we will do this again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.